I didn't tell her I was leaving. No drawn-out texts. No final fight. No dramatic farewell. I simply left, because by the time I realized staying was slowly breaking me, she had already stopped noticing I was even there. So I packed my things quietly, left the keys on the kitchen counter, and walked out her world without a word. I figured she'd be fine, maybe even relieved. I thought she had moved on long before I did. Honestly, I assumed she wouldn't even flinch. Then, months later, there was a knock at my door. It was late, raining. I opened it to find her standing there, soaked and holding her heart in her expression. We'd spent 2.5 years together. It was far from perfect, but it was home, for me at least. She was a whirlwind, unpredictable, passionate, poetic. I was her calm, her steady. I gave her space to breathe, waited while she changed, adapted to the different versions of herself she was always discovering. But somewhere along the line, she stopped choosing me. At first, it was subtle. She forgot to say good morning, canceled plans without much thought. We made less eye contact. She spent more time on her phone. The silence between us grew louder than any shouting match ever could. Then came the moment everything shifted. We were on the couch. I was telling her about something from my day, probably something insignificant. And she didn't even look up, didn't nod, didn't pretend to hear. And in that instant I knew she'd already left. Emotionally, mentally, she was gone. I was just the one still sitting in the relationship, holding on. So the next morning, I packed in silence. No accusations, no begging, no final plea for attention. I told myself if I ever mattered, she'd reach out. But she didn't. Time passed. I relocated, found a new place, new routines, hit the gym, went to therapy, made new friends, did all the things people recommend to mend a broken heart. It didn't work overnight, but piece by piece, I began to feel whole again. Eventually, I stopped checking my phone for her name, stopped wondering if she thought of me, because if she had missed me, she would have said something, right? It was just another quiet Thursday evening. I come back from a grocery run when I heard it. 3 soft knocks. At first, I assumed it was a neighbor, but when I opened the door, my breath caught. There she was, soaked from the rain, eyes swollen and red, wearing that oversized hoodie she always wore when her anxiety took over, like it could shield her from the world. She didn't speak at first. Neither did I. She just looked at me like she wasn't sure I was real. Finally, she whispered, "You never said goodbye." Leaning on the doorframe, I hesitated. I wasn't sure if I wanted to invite her in or close the chapter for good. "You stopped saying hello," I said softly. She looked down and bit her lip, just like she used to when she was scared. "I know," she whispered. "I'm sorry." I stepped aside. Let her in. We sat quietly, side by side. Not the kind of silence filled with resentment. This one was heavy with things we didn't know how to say. Eventually, she pulled out a photo, one from when everything was still beautiful, before the complacency, before the drift. "I found this yesterday," she said, brushing away tears. "And I broke. You didn't deserve the way I faded away. I didn't even realize how far I'd pulled back until you were already gone. And then I thought it was too late." "It was," I replied gently. She nodded, tears falling freely now. "I don't expect anything from you. I just needed to tell you. It wasn't because I didn't care. I was just overwhelmed. I forgot how to show it." I looked at her, the woman I once imagined building a future with. The silence between us now held clarity instead of confusion. And for the first time, I felt something I hadn't since I left. Peace. Because she wasn't pretending anymore. She wasn't defending. She was simply being real. "Why now?" I asked. She gave a small shrug. "Healing taught me something. That I have to own not just the things I did wrong, but the things I failed to do. And the way you left, with silence, with grace, that haunted me more than any fight ever could." I exhaled slowly. "I never wanted to hurt you." "But you did," she whispered. "And you were allowed to." She stood and walked toward the door. Before stepping out, she turned back one last time. "Thank you," she said, voice trembling, "for not yelling, for not begging." for walking away with dignity, even when I didn't deserve that kindness. I never stopped loving you. I just didn't know how to love you the right way. She left, and I didn't chase her. But later that night, I sat with a photo she left behind, staring at it for a long time. And for the first time in what felt like forever, the weight in my chest was lighter. To anyone reading this, sometimes love doesn't end with a dramatic goodbye. Sometimes it ends in silence, in the soft sound of footsteps leaving quietly. And sometimes the ones who let you go too easily are the very ones who carry the ghost of your absence with them for a long, long time. If this stirred something inside you, know that healing isn't loud. It's gentle, and it begins the moment you decide to choose yourself, even if they never chose you first.